Hello, good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Bold Voices 4W. My name is Khadija Haliru, your host, and today we're going to be exploring, making leaders, the decisions that shape our communities and the moments that redefine our future, basically. As we hear that there is going to be an election in Ontario, today is January 25th, and as of Friday, we are now well aware there will be an election come February 27th. So we're diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind in Ontario when it comes to leadership, elections, and the scramble to fill spaces with new voices. So the recent call has sent leaders into a scramble, not just to secure votes, but to define their roles in the province that's hungry for change. Whether we win or lose, whether our elections have a way of shaking things up, and sometimes it does feel like divine intervention steps in to steer us in a new direction, I hope you're paying attention and you're listening. Because it's winter, and sometimes people don't listen. So let's talk about how leaders are made, what this election means for Ontario, and what a new mandate could look like for Premier Doug Ford and the province as a whole. So I want to start by basically asking us that big question. How are leaders made? A lot of people don't know what happens in the back end. Are they born? Are they shaped by circumstance? The history shows us that leaders often emerge in moments of crisis or change. And this is why I want to call out to everyone because they're not always the loudest voices in the room, but rather the ones who step up when the stakes are high. At this moment in time, there's so much going on. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are crying. A lot of municipalities are crying. A lot of things are happening. And in the in the middle of all the crisis and all the hurt, we are willing to spend $172 million right now just to go to the polls and decide if we want the majority government to remain a majority. I really don't understand it. But in Ontario, we've seen this play out time and time again. Okay. So, how are leaders made? Leaders are made when they listen, when they adapt, and when they recognize the need for new voices at the table. I'm one of those leaders right now telling you that I recognize that this government has just, you know, I think they just bit themselves in the foot. This election is no different. It's going to change whether it's going to make them lose seats and others win seats. It's going to change. And when you have a majority government, how much more change do you need? It begs the question why we're going for this election in the first place. So, with key spaces opening up for fresh perspectives, the scramble to fill those roles is a reminder that leadership isn't just about holding power, it's about serving people. And when you're ready to serve, you should be ready to step up. The election basically is about finding opportunity. You remember that word? I mean, that phrase, I teach this phrase a lot, and I say when success happens, look right into that. It was opportunity and preparedness waiting to meet. So when you're always prepared and you're always seeking opportunities, and that opportunity, I mean, when you're always prepared and you're always seeking opportunities, when that opportunity comes, success happens for you. And sometimes people wonder how. But you have to remember leaders are not made just by grooming them nonstop. It is about a combination of choosing and picking the right time for the right reasons. So it's no secret that elections are a time of chaos and opportunity. People are, you know, thinking through their lives and thinking through their current situations. But for leaders, it's a moment to prove their worth. For me, it is a time to prove that I can, to show that, we're in touch with the needs of our constituents. It's also a time for new voices to emerge. So when you see a lot of people rise up in this election because they feel the pain, they know where it hurts, and they're ready to make a change, it is time to step up. The winter, the cold weather should not deter anyone right now and make anybody feel like I can't bother anymore because this is a time where change can happen. I'm going to be talking to a few counselors who are taking the bull by the horn to see if they can elevate their voices at a time where it's needed the most. In Ontario, we're seeing a push for diversity, for fresh ideas, and for leaders who can address the challenges of today, which is healthcare, education, the economy, housing. The scramble to fill the spaces is a sign that status quo isn't enough anymore. People want change, and they're looking for leaders who can deliver. So join me. I will be bringing you one or two counselors in this week to tell you why they've decided to rise up and why they've decided to take the challenge. And again, as that happens, we need people to continuously think about how they can make a difference locally, municipally, because this job does not stop. So now here's something to think about. Sometimes it feels like there's a higher power at work in politics, right? Call it divine intervention, call it fate. But there are moments when the universe seems to nudge us in a new direction, and elections are one of those moments. Whether we win or lose, the outcome of this election will set a new course for Ontario. For Premier Doug Ford, this could mean a new mandate, a chance to redefine his leadership and his vision for the province, or a chance to collaborate with other parties to achieve the best stance for Ontario. But for the people of Ontario, it's an opportunity to demand more, to push for progress, and to hold our leaders accountable. And I definitely hope you are one of them. So, what does a new mandate look like for Ontario? For example, for Ford, it could mean doubling down on his current policies or pivoting to address the concerns of those who feel left behind, or for his big, problems to basically be wiped away. But for the rest of us, it's about hope. Hope for the stronger healthcare system that we've been begging for, hope for better jobs, and hope for the province that works for everyone. So, whether the outcome of this election is a reminder that leadership is a journey, not a destination, that it's about listening, learning, and leading with integrity. For Ontario, it's a chance to write a new chapter, one that reflects the voices of all people, and I'm looking to stand up for that. I want to say thank you for joining me for this little rant today, but just everyone's feeling the pressure. And as we watch this election unfold, let's remember that leaders are made in moments like these. They're made when they rise to the occasion, when they listen to new voices, and when they need people and put them first. I don't think this was about putting people first, but whatever happens, I hope this election brings a new mandate that's good for Ontario, a mandate that moves us forward. So until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep believing in the power of leadership to make a difference, because I'll be bringing you a few leaders, starting with me, Khadija Haliru. I intend to stand and run for the NDP in Oxford County. And I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to see that leadership trait in me, the belief in me to be able to stand up to do this, because I believe it's time for a new voice, a new generation to fight for Oxford County. Thank you for listening. This was Bold Voices for You, January 25th, 2025.